welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. And tonight we start Week 9 with a good one in prime time, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Miami Dolphins. On the visiting sideline, their head coach. These guys, they haven't quite figured things out yet, just 2-5 on the year. His counterpart on the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys ready to show out in front of the home fans as they try to send them home happy at the end of this one. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it, because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a toss right side, HN with it. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Off the edge and right to the ball that time was Kyle Van Noy. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Jair Alexander making the play there defensively. And Charles, we see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back on the field in a hurry.
Brandon, I'm going to go ahead and age myself, but I'm going to ask you, when you were in high school and there were injuries, did you hear next man up from your coaches?
Well, you hear it every week now in the NFL, that's for sure.
Back when I played, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, you didn't hear next man up. You heard, oh, no, we got to put in Davis?
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And when I watch him play, all I think about is the word improvement. Every season in the league, he finds a way to get better and has become just as dynamic with his arm as he has with his legs. 41 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions in 2024. His big goal now, getting his team to a Super Bowl. Plenty of success during the regular season. Now they want to win at playoff time.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. 2nd down now.
Those big ends don't really care what the play call is. Big pass, RPO, handoff, whatever. Their job, get behind the line of scrimmage every play and run down whoever has the ball. Mission accomplished there.
This time, Jackson will throw it. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 17 carries, 62 yards.
Well, obviously, he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame, he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
First and 10 at the 35.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
First and goal at the 8-yard line.
This guy's proven himself to be one of the best in the NFL. He brings an added dimension to their offense with his ability to read defenses and know when he's able to pull it down and take off and go.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On second and goal, here's an option play left. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down. Now it's Jackson. The quick slant caught. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. Fourth and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Going option left on fourth and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens take the chance on fourth and goal, and it pays off with 6. Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So Miami coming out for their second drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. First and 10. Little short pass here to Hill. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
3-yard pickup brings up second and 7.
They'll run here with a rookie. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 coming up.
A loss of a yard brings up second and 11 at the 38-yard line.
A run straight ahead with Achane. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. They'll run for it with Achane. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
When you're dead last in the NFL in third down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them.
Now Achane on first and 10. Yeah, he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From midfield, here's Tua. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Brings up third down and 10.
Tua going to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. The Ravens offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And his ability is given, and he's currently second in the NFL in rushing yards by a QB. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get.
I wonder if they sit in a meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. Here's Jackson to throw. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Baltimore, first down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. They go play action now. Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
A gain of 6. That's good for Baltimore.
First down, here's Mitchell. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. The Ravens now at 2-5 to start play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking here to make it 2 in a row.
And when you and I watched tape preparing for this, what we saw was a team that competed hard, and they played well in all 3 phases of the game. And I think if they can carry that over to this week, they've got a really good chance to emerge victorious yet again.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Throwing is Jackson. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they go to work on a 1st and goal. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. And a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. But also a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. So now here come the Dolphins. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Achane on the counter. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Ravens' 49-yard line.
Again, it's Achane. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
He's going to let this go for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, 46 yards. And the Dolphins are back within a score. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And this defense has got to be searching for answers right now. It's been his ability to make plays on the ground here in this first half that's really giving him fits. Singletary to get the drive started. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Jackson. Going deep for Hopkins. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The veteran Rasul Douglas able to break that one up.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there. Malik Washington deep for Miami. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Miami's offense set and ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Looking to pass, Tua. Now he'll tuck this and run. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They were winners a week ago over the Bears, and they lead things here as well as they start this drive with a 1st and 10. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Now Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Mitchell. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he will have a Ravens 1st down, and comfortably so as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And that's a loss of 7 on the 1st down play. Now after the loss, he'll have to navigate a 2nd and 17. Here's Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Flowers. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Now it's Jackson. No gain on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Here's Stout to punt as he boots this one away. Miami set to take over. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the 1st half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Defensively, they were in the 3-4, and that O-line just dominated the D-line there.
Let's go with a verbal telestrator here because that D-line has a nose over the center, and it has the 2 defensive ends over the offensive tackles. That means the guards don't have anyone over the top of them. That creates a natural bubble inside where they sprint upfield, take on the inside linebackers, and if the back hits it fast enough, there should be space to run.
And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. 3rd and 3. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. 2 minutes remaining in the 1st half. 10-7, our score. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And they will take over 1st and 10. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Mitchell now off the option. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Play action. Now Jackson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Jalen Phillips able to record his 5th sack of the season. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson now going deep for Hopkins. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
That's another Baltimore first down.
Back to the ground here, Mitchell. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Here's a 2nd and 8. Once again, it's Mitchell. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. On the counter, Mitchell. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Touchdown! Rashad Bateman as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens will extend their lead here just before halftime. And this drive, Charles, very well timed as they score with very little time remaining in this first half.
And I'm reminded that they get the second half kickoff as well, so they can break this one wide open before the other guys have a chance to possess the football.
Luke now for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. A 10-play drive that time. And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown. That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
An option give now to Mitchell. 40 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Baltimore first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
On first down, they go back to Mitchell. And he's got some space here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
It's a gain of 23 yards.
From the gun, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Play action. It's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 10-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Operating from the gun, Jackson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Hopkins. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
That's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd.
Operating from the gun, Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Charlie Kohler, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now after the touchdown, Loop back out to kick this one away. Oh, what a move. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that one too wide and incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10.
Marlon Humphrey on the coverage.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Tua. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
A loss of 10 yards brings up 4th down.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
gain of 11 on the play. First down, Ravens.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Looking to throw. Jackson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Singletary going to get the handoff. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event,
and that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens are able to extend their lead. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Now after the touchdown, Loop back out to kick this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Tua sets up to pass it. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Now Tua. That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Raven first down.
Give every member of that unit a ton of credit for ripping off such a big gain there, because you don't get free for that many yards on a counter or misdirection without everybody selling the heck out of it.
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Got the defense on their heels. 2 first downs in a row, and now a pickup of 8. Singletary again. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Jackson going to run. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, a 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Ravens get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his second touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talents. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Up the middle, Achane. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 59 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Shifts past him at the 45. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Now he's going to step up and run. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. From the gun, it's Tua. This one thrown underneath to Achane. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Out of the gun on 3rd down. Here's Tua. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Back to the ground, Achane. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5.
10 more yards. Tackle made at the 5-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he's going to ball his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. A great effort there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead is down to 24. 4th quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Here's Jackson to throw. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Jackson's going to try the sneak. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
And the Baltimore first down.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
Now it's Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Dolphins offense and running back Devon Achane making their way back out. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 23-yard line.
2nd down and 6 now. Tua going to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Mike Green in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. That one behind his man, incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
He'll try to do it himself. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
They'll drop to throw. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. A'Shawn Robinson, too much to handle that time, gets the sack.
An assortment of sacks in this game. This one the product of a good jump and terrific effort. Moves quickly off the snap of the ball. Doesn't let up until he's in the backfield and impacting the quarterback.
To try again after the sack. Tua On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. The Dolphins on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 16. They'll look to throw. That's to Waddle on the quick slant. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath. By all means.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Tua. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. Jackson going to throw quickly here, complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. On 3rd down, they go with Singletary. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Dolphins ready to take over on offense. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Looking to pass. Tua. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Back to throw. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty.
A gain of 14 yards brings up 3rd.
And now Tua going to try and sneak it. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now this time, Tua's going to throw it. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 42-yard line.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a 1st down.
That's good for a Dolphins 1st down.
In motion goes the tight end.
42-yard line.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Short throw caught by Dulcich. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now he's going to step up and run. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 26. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
First and 10 at the 27.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Open man, Westbrook Akine. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's second down.
Malachi starts on the coverage.
Running right, here's Achane. And the tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Makes it 3rd and 8.
Achane here, they stay on the ground. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Tua on 4th down. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead now down to 20. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
A handoff on the option to Singletary. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
13 yards on the play. That's good for a Baltimore first down. First and 10.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for Baltimore, they get a much-needed victory to get to 3-5 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Miami, the turnaround hasn't materialized.